Oh, that's not right. Let's see. Marie says hi. My hair probably looks crazy. Everything has been prepared to your specification. Capital B, the workforce is now yours. I probably need to go unmute myself in Discord and then begin. There we go. LM10 Fan 360 says hi. I didn't sign off on that, plus it's casting an awkward shadow on the president's plinth. Bennett. I love me some ukulele. I've been a fan of ukulele, but I haven't really had the chance to try and play it all the way through. So I thought, why not start over? And then if I'm going to play it, why not actually stream it? Since I have a laptop that's good enough. This is all getting annoying though. Like if they ever do a sequel or a follow-up to this game. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Comment and let me know if you can hear me. I'll turn my microphone up, but just comment and let me know if you can hear me. Probably not too many fans on my YouTube of ukulele, since everyone's kind of subscribed to me for...
Hello.
Oh, hi.
You're live streaming right
I am. How are you?
now? Good.
Alright, let me see here.
Did you finish the trials?
I have not.
I finished finished the day it came out, but it was only hours after it did, and it was so frustrating, especially the final trials.
Alright. Sorry, I had to turn down the volume of the game to hear you.
Alright. But the final trials are just really frustrating. So what do you think of the DLC as a whole?
So far it's pretty great. I mean, for only $20 compared to what other companies offer for like
Like other,
traditional $20 DLC.
oh, if you want to get this gunplay $20, if you want to get this big new story scenario, pay us another $60. Or if you want to get the season pass, pay us $100.
Yeah, like
Evolve.
if you look at this as like the bonus DLC that you get as soon as you order it, and then the summer DLC and the winter pack of DLC.
Which is
Um,
the Champions Ballot, right?
yeah, the most of your money is going towards the winter DLC because you're getting a new dungeon. If the dungeon is anything like the previous dungeon, you'll also be getting a new special ability after completing it.
I hope that if with the new dungeon that they're adding on the winter DLC, or if the DLC that's gonna come out during the winter, I hope it's gonna be like kind of like a bigger dungeon or something similar. Because have you played The Legend of Zelda: A Phantom Hourglass?
Yeah.
Because I heard that there's this one place where you kind of kept on going to over and over again, but explore different parts of it. I'm not sure what. I forgot the name of that location.
Yeah, I forgot the name of it too, but yeah, you basically you go complete a dungeon or a section of the game, and then you return, and you have a new item that'll let you progress a little bit further in the dungeon, but you have to keep going back over and over.
I'm thinking that if they're gonna add a dungeon, that they would have something similar to that, to where you complete one part of the dungeon, and then you have to do some quests outside of the dungeon. That's pretty interesting. And then you come back, and who knows, might be like you need like the Master Sword, like you need to power up the Master Sword or something like that to progress, or you have to collect orbs or something to progress through the dungeon, and the quest will be like interesting. Or they could just have just a huge dungeon. But hopefully it's not like Divine Beasts were short. Or I didn't mind it being short, but there's just few Divine Beasts, and kind of the quests leading up to the Divine Beast is relatively the same. You arrive at the location, you get introduced to either the descendant of the champions, or or someone who's associated with the champions, and then they take you or show you the location of the Divine Beast. That's how it relatively works. Because I hope that they add a new spin to it, to, like I mentioned, similar to Phantom Hourglass, where you complete one part of that area, and then you go back after you complete a quest, or you get a special item to progress. But what would you hope would be a?
I hope it's a traditional dungeon that we're kind of used to from normal Zelda games.
So you, and hopefully the quest leading up to the dungeon is very interesting. So like where you have the interesting quest leading up to the dungeon. You go in the dungeon. You have first like the section where you don't have the required weapon or ability, and then you have the section where it leads up to the mini boss, where you fight the mini boss and get that item, and then you progress and progress until you reach the final boss. That's mainly how Zelda dungeons work.
Yeah. Because I'm sure they've been noticing that a lot of people have been asking for a traditional themed dungeon, like fire dungeon, water dungeon, that they typically have. So I hope they do something that's similar to a normal end game dungeon, to where it has bits and pieces of all of the other themed dungeon, like combined
So, like,
into one.
similar to Ganon's castle in Ocarina of Time. Remember, there
Yeah,
was those rooms where they had an ice theme, they had a wind theme,
yeah,
or
that, or like Stone Tower Temple and Majora's Mask, that kind of combined elements of the others.
yeah.
All right.
But hopefully it's gonna be a good DLC, because the one that just came out right now, it's pretty decent. Like because I already got all of I got all of the masks and the outfits in the DLC, so I don't have to worry about getting that. And I just completed the trials, so I can make the Master Sword full power. Does it increase the defense of the Master Sword, or is it the same exact defense
I
and
think it's
upgrade?
the same. Like, it has the same defense or durability. It's just the attack that goes up, so it's always fully charged.
So that's good.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, with the second DLC set that we get,
Well,
I
technically,
hope that they make it, because after that point there'll really be no reason to play through the game again after you play through and beat the second set of DLC on Master Mode, or the Winter DLC. I guess it could be
what
called the third set. So like, if they made it so the Master Sword was always, like, it just didn't break at all, I think that would be something that a lot of people would like, especially since at that point you
uh,
wouldn't have any reason to really do anything because everything's already finished.
what I'm planning to do is I'm currently working on a 100% playthrough of Breath of the Wild. Once I'm finished with that 100% playthrough, I'm gonna work on a master mode playthrough, or the hero mode playthrough of Breath of the Wild. So I'm prob it's I'm probably gonna add a couple things in the mix where um or if I wanted to, I could make a three hearts run, a three hearts playthrough with no clothes. Oh, someone just joined.
On the voice call?
Yeah, someone just joined on the
Oh,
social chat.
cool.
But I'm probably gonna. Oh, he just went. He just left. But with the um, with the okay, I forgot what I was gonna say. Um, oh yeah. With right, so most likely, if I'm able to, I could possibly live stream it to where, like, I would do a three, like I said, I'll do a three heart run, and I would be dying a lot, and I kind of know all the tricks in the game, so that would be an advantage too. So that's nice.
Yeah, like, I think the master mode was really great because it goes a little bit beyond what
Cause I've
the
never I haven't tried out master mode yet, so I need to finish my 100% playthrough of the game.
yeah, it it goes a little bit beyond what the typical hard mode in a Zelda game does. Like if you ever played the Skyward Sword on hero mode, or
Yeah. Skyward Sword. I played. I think I've completed like. t- Hold on, give me a sec.
oh, there we go. The enemies just turn into butterflies. What's everybody in the YouTube chat up to? LM10 Fan 360, Mr. Aquafish, Marie. After playing with the Xbox One controller, the PlayStation 4 controller, and then the Nintendo Switch controller, I like the Xbox One controller the best, but the Nintendo Switch controller and the Nintendo Switch controller and the PlayStation 4 controller are kind of like mixed. They're both great, but like certain games I prefer one over the other. Like I like the fact that the Switch controller has the off-axis analog sticks, but I like the fact that the PlayStation 4 controller has the analog R2 and L2.
Okay, I'm back. I had to help out my family or something.
Oh, you're fine. I was just talking about the different controllers for the PlayStation 4 controller compared to the Xbox One and the Switch controller. Super Ahmed in the chat asked if this was the PC version, and yes, this is the PC version. I'm playing with an Xbox One controller.
Speaking of PC, I was about to mention a couple emulators. The only emulators I really use is Dolphin with Mario Kart Wii and a couple other emulators. I haven't tried out like the 3DS emulator yet, or the Wii U emulator. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, Simu, I think it's called.
Yes, it's Simu.
CMU, whatever.
Yeah, it's called Simu, and there's this guy. His name is he's called the Complaining Gamer. He kind of covers it, and he kind of covers how the progress they're working on with the different versions for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Because when Breath of the Wild first came out for Simu, it was broken. It didn't really work as well and stuff. But
Yeah.
the amount of progress they made for it is really surprising. Like they fix most, not like almost every single issue with like in terms of like how broken it was. Like in the beginning of when it first released, there's no collision of water. The the Sheikah Slate abilities wouldn't work. I think Magnesis didn't work correctly and stuff like that, and the frame rate was just horrendous. Like it was running 20 frames. That's how bad it was. And then now we have the most recent updates where most of the issues were finished. Now it runs at around 30 frames, and I heard that I've seen people make it go up to 60 FPS at 4K, and it it just kind of surprised me how well they did. It's 10:26.
Super Ahmed in the chat says, whatever happened to ukulele on the Nintendo Switch? When I first, like around the time that the other versions of ukulele came out, I think the plan was for them to have the Switch version out a month after, but I don't think there's been any update. It's still, like, being worked on, but maybe they're thinking of trying to add in something special to make people buy it, because I would assume most people that are interested in the game are already done playing it because they bought it when it first came out for PC or PlayStation or whatever. But maybe they're trying to think of some exclusive content to make it worthwhile for Switch players. Or they could be working on DLC and then like release a DLC pack, but then have the Switch version come with the DLC pack.
What is the emulator? Because I've seen you've done videos with the 3DS emulator. What is that emulator called?
The one I use is Citra. But
Is
it's
it really
really
good?
it's really weird because it works good with some games and it works crappy with some games. Like Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. I can play those games at 4K on the emulator at like a smooth like 75 to 100% speed. But
Is it hard to run?
no, it's not. I wouldn't say
Or
it's
do
any
you,
harder than Dolphin emulator. It's just that like certain games are optimized for it and certain games aren't. Like it'll run the Zelda games at near perfect speed at 4K, but it'll struggle to run any of the Pokemon games at just 240p when I can run Zelda at 4K with almost no issues. So it doesn't matter how good of a PC you have. You could have like a $10,000 PC and it would still run Pokemon and like Luigi's Mansion. Those games just run like crap.
I have an i3, and I know this can be a bottleneck for a couple things. And I know a couple emulators are CPU intensive. Even if you have a good graphics card like I do, I have a 1050, and if for out of emulators and for games that are not emulators, it can run games fine. But for a lot of emulators, they're CPU intensive or use the CPU more than the GPU, and most likely you need a i5 or higher. But I have an i3.
Yeah, Super Ahmed asked if they can join the Discord voice chat. There's a link in the description of the video that you should be able to join the Discord. But you were talking about an i3 and thinking about going to an i5?
No, I was just saying I'm stuck with an i3 right now, and I just want to know I'm trying to find out like what games or what settings is the best to run for certain emulators and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know the easiest emulators to run obviously are the classic ones like the N64 or the or the Super Nintendo or the NES and stuff, those are like super easy to run. But like anything higher than that, then there's gonna be a couple issues.
Yeah. Like, what was it?
Dolphin.
I used to have a laptop with a really weak i5, and it would run certain Dolphin games okay. The laptop that I have now has an i7, so
I heard about that. And you have a 1060 in there too.
yeah. That's why I'm able to like play this game at a constant 60 frames while using the same laptop to stream everything and load the webcam. It's pretty great. Like, it's better than the PC that I had. The PC I have is it has an AMD 8370 CPU, which I think is an 8-core CPU, and then it has an R9 280X in it. So while the CPU might be a little bit better than the one in my laptop, the GPU in my laptop is like leagues above the old GPU.
I'm looking at the game compatibility list for the Citra emulator, and I'm looking at the ones that won't boot. And it was Donkey Kong. Kong. Oh, hello.
Do I hear a cereal?
No, that's not. I don't think that's cereal.
Similar voice.
Yes. But continuing, like I was saying, I'm looking at the compatibility, and I see that Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D won't boot, Mario Sports Superstars won't boot, and stuff like that. And then there's bad performance on Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D, Castlevania, Lord of the Shadows, and Picross 3D Round 2. And then there's bad, which is Animal Crossing, Pokemon X and Y, Luigi's Mansion, and Mario Kart 7, and a couple other games. And then there's which games that run okay, which is Super Mario Land, Super Pokemon Rumble. They had a Super Pokemon Rumble
on the 3DS, and I think the Wii U. Like, they all had a Pokemon Rumble.
I know that they released a second version of Pokemon Rumble, but I forgot there was a Super Pokemon Rumble. But I'm just looking at the compatibility, and then there's games that run great and not perfect, which is because I want to try out Majora's Mask 3D on the emulator. And how do you, like, for the ROMs, do you download them, but you already have them, or do you use like the converter to download the ROMs or something like that?
You can do any of them. Like, there's a way you can convert the ROMs that you have, or the games that you have, into compatible ROMs. I just download them.
But you already own the games too, right?
Yeah, like I've had I think I've even bought Ocarina of Time 3D. I think I bought it twice because the first one I ended up losing.
Funny. Speaking of losing games, there was this one time where I lost my copy of The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. I could not find it, and then I went to GameStop a couple months later, or months later, and bought another copy of Twilight Princess. And then later on, I found the copy of Twilight Princess that I lost. So I have 2 copies of Twilight Princess, including the HD version of Twilight Princess.
Dude, I bought I had to buy Wind Waker HD twice. I bought Skyward Sword 3 or 4 times. I bought Twilight Princess on the GameCube when it first came out. Then I bought the Wii version the same day that I bought Ocarina of Time 3D, which was like a month after the game came out. And then someone ended up stealing my entire Wii console that had Twilight Princess in the console. So
How do they steal? Did you have a house invasion or something? Or?
I was just like one of the friends or people that I used to be friends with was over, and then like there used to be 3 or 4 different people that I would have spend the night at the same time, and it just disappeared one day. Like I think it was in my closet, so it's not something that you would notice being out because it wasn't plugged into my TV anymore, and like it just went missing one day. So I just assumed it was one of the piece of crap friends that I used to have.
Or
So
friends.
yeah, so then like a few months later, oh yeah, that time it really sucked because whenever they stole it, my girlfriend at the time and I were in the middle of playing through it because she had never played through a Zelda game before. So I thought Twilight Princess would have been perfect, and it turned out, what was it? The Wii U version came out. She played halfway through it, and then we broke up. So she never did play through it, but I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. It just sucks because I had to buy, like, I bought the game, all 3 versions of the game I bought, and then altogether I bought the game at least 4 times. So
Speaking of which, for Twilight Princess, funny enough, Twilight Princess was my first ever Zelda game I played. Because before I've seen gameplay of it, I wasn't too interested, and then I saw Twilight Princess. Not Twilight Princess. I saw Skyward Sword, commercials for Skyward Sword, and they had like the Wii Motion Plus and stuff. And I said, "Oh, that looks interesting." So I asked my parents for A Legend of Zelda, and they got me Twilight Princess, and I started playing through that, and then I think I probably stopped playing because I couldn't get past the fishing part at the beginning of the game. Then my parents started playing through it, and then they played, they completed the Forest Temple, and then they completed the
oh, crazy. Are they
Guan.
fans of video games?
They don't play it. They don't play video games too much because they have work and stuff, so
Oh, yeah.
they're not too into them anymore. But they played, Twilight Princess up till Guan Mines, and then I kind of picked up from there, and then I think I made it to Hyrule Castle and stopped playing after that. And then what I ended up doing was that I made my own because we have 2 Wiis at my house. There's a family, the red family Wii with a GameCube port, like the earlier versions.
Yeah.
This is like the.
Have you ever
like that
modded
red-
your Wii?
No, I haven't modded my Wii. I'm probably gonna do that.
Like it?
I'm probably gonna do that sometime in the near future. But
Yeah, I think it takes like maybe 20 minutes to do. I've had 2 that I've modded.
yeah, like I might do that sometime in the future. But then I created my own profile for, or save file for Twilight Princess, and then I just played through the game up till I beat it. And this was and then because Twilight Princess is one of the games that got me into Zelda, and then the next game I played in the series was it was Ocarina of Time. I think was it? I'm not sure, but it was. I think next it was Ocarina of Time.
The 3D or the original?
3D, because I bought it digitally on my 3DS. And then I got a Skyward Sword. And then I played Spirit Tracks. I'm not sure if I'm saying this in order or not, but I got Skyward Sword, and I played Spirit Tracks, and then I played the. Did I play the original at the time? I'm not sure, but I then I got A Link Between Worlds, and I played mostly every single Zelda game except for the Oracle games um, and Phantom Hourglass and those CDI games.
Oh yeah.
So
The Oracle games are pretty cool considering that like they're meant to be ran on like a Game Boy or Game Boy Color. So if you look at them knowing how limited they are and compare them to other Game Boy or Game Boy Color games, then they're actually pretty great.
and then they're planning to have a third Oracle game, which was gonna feature Pharaon or however you pronounce the goddess of courage or
Oh yeah,
however.
Furore.
Yeah, Furore.
Yeah, all of the names in Zelda are really weird because until Breath of the Wild, there was never really a way to know how to pronounce all of them correctly because they all are basically made up words and it's only in text, so there was never an official way to pronounce them until Breath of the Wild, where you could actually hear how a bunch of the names were meant to be pronounced.
Where do you normally get your ROMs from? Like your 3DS ROMs?
I just type it in on Google, like whatever game I'm searching for.
Because I'm trying to get Ocarina of Time, and I already own the game, so.
Oh, that's weird.
No, I can't find. I'm trying to find like ROMs, because there's a couple of ROMs websites that are not really trusted, and then there was Cool ROMs would have probably had Ocarina of Time or any Nintendo game, but Nintendo ended up suing Cool ROM, and they had to remove like all of their Nintendo related games. Have you heard about that?
I remember there was some legal dispute with some website. I forgot what it was.
I think it was Cool ROM. They got sued, and then they had to delete their Nintendo theme content. I'm gonna go back to the website and see if they still have it, but I'm pretty sure they don't have any Nintendo related content anymore.
I've been skipping all of the text in this game, so I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
I do that all the time.
Someone, Skull Space, says, "What are you playing?"
It says it literally in the title.
Yeah.
But I've never played the game, and I've heard about the game, but I never played it once.
I was excited for the Switch version, but it's just never came out, so maybe one day. It might be way too late for it to come out though, because as soon as like the reason everybody was excited for Laylee was because there hasn't been a big 3D platformer in a long time. And recently there was the remake of the Ratchet and Clank for PS4. But other than that, there wasn't too much. So everyone got excited for Laylee, but in like 4 or 5 months from now, there's going to be Mario on the Switch, which is like the king of platforming games.
Yeah. I'm gonna install Citra, but I'm about to install Citra, but which build should I I'm sorry, I accidentally I hit something, but what build should I download? Should I download the nightly build, the recent one, or the bleeding edge build?
I think I downloaded the bleeding edge build. I forgot what the name of the channel was, but there was a YouTube channel that I watched to get everything that I knew. Because I was trying to make the 4K comparison videos, and some of the versions weren't able to render the games in 4K. They just stopped at 1080p.
I might do a if I start a streaming, or if I ever do live stream games on PC, I might do like a playthrough, or if I make my YouTube channel one day, I might do like a HD playthrough of a couple games running on emulators. Because at the moment, I don't have a capture card for my consoles, and those can get pretty expensive. So, especially the 3DS capture cards, those can go up to how long?
Like,
how much? Like,
I think there's a few different people that I know of that custom mod your 3DS, but
yeah, I know a couple, but they can get to
it's really expensive. And then like when you're playing the game on your screen, it's still in 240p, so it's not that great of a experience. Like, it's nice. I would pay the money to play on a bigger screen before I would pay the money to just record the video footage, or to be able to stream the video footage, because a lot of the games on the 3DS are really good, so they need to be experienced on a larger screen. But in the end, like, it's just not worth it to me, paying all the money just to get your 3DS modded. Especially now that the Switch is out, I expect a lot of the 3DS games to be brought over.
Get ported over?
Yeah, to the Switch. Like, I expect at least one of the Zelda games to be brought over. Whether it's A Link Between Worlds or Ocarina and Majora's Mask.
Okay, that's weird. Right now, right now I just downloaded and installed Citra, and it's not working correctly. I think I should. Oh, yeah, I think I know why. I should install the bleeding edge build. I did the nightly build, and now the folder isn't. The new folder I created isn't deleting. It keeps on saying this is no longer located in F broken files, games, non-Steam games. Verify the item's location and try again. I can't delete the folder. So probably when I was extracting it, I probably shouldn't have. Oh, someone just joined.
All of these enemies in this game so far look like Marowak and Cubones.
They really do.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, you sound so quiet. I can barely hear you.
How's the stream going?
There's only 10 people watching, so not too great. But it's expected because I'm not playing Breath of the Wild or any other Zelda game, so.
I haven't really seen much of you lately.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a lot more fun if there were people here playing it with me.
So does it have multiplayer?
It does, but they're only like weird mini games. It doesn't have like full co-op.
I see.
And I keep skipping over what everybody says, so I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing.
And right now I'm trying to install that 3DS emulator, but I'm having some technical issues.
Like there's this guy that's in the boiling pot, but I have no idea why it doesn't just get out.
Oh, there we go. Oh wow.
Uh-oh.
Jesse, do you need some more help? Chat or...
I don't think so.
I think most of the problems have been fixed with the chat or people like messing around and stuff. I think there's not really any problems with that as of now.
Because I don't think there's a mod in the chat, and I don't have a mod status in your YouTube.
Well, there's like nobody's being offensive in the chat.
Okay, if I see anything, I will flag it.
Yeah, I would make you a mod, but where I'm playing this game on the PC, like I have to like exit out of the game to use the mouse or keyboard.
Do you have the mobile version of Discord?
No, a mod on YouTube. Like in the chat.
Okay.
I am an admin in the Discord, but it doesn't carry over, sadly.
Okay, I felt stupid.
No need to feel stupid.
I mean,
what is this guy? This is like Bizarro Kirby.
Oops. Are you able to map buttons to an Xbox controller for Citra?
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that?
Nope. I learned how to do everything like 3 or 4 months ago, and I forgot.
Hey, I'm turning everything, the internal resolution, to up to 1080p if I'm able to do that. No, I can only go up to 900. 900 or 1200p. I'll just go up to 960p.
I have Tomb Raider on my desktop computer. I should copy it over to my laptop because this game's kind of boring. I should just play Breath of the Wild, but I'm lazy.
require more effort.
The game?
Yeah.
No, it's just
Oh,
boring.
I mean, does Breath of the Wild require more effort?
Oh no, Breath of the Wild, it's just the same problem I have with every video game. Whenever I play, I just feel like I'm wasting time. I could be doing something more productive. So I just had the urge to play Yooka for some reason.
It looks very colorful.
Yeah.
Wasn't it supposed to release on the Switch?
Yeah, for some reason it hasn't yet. I imagine they're doing something special for the Switch version. Like
Motion controls, backward compatibility.
maybe like the game did fairly well, especially for an indie game. There was a lot of people that bought it, so I imagine they're doing something for DLC, and they're probably designing the DLC at the same time that they're working on the Switch port. So they'll probably release the Switch port around the same time that they announce the DLC or something, is what I'm imagining. But what do I know? Like, they
Have you
could
heard
not
of a
even be
pro-
working on DLC.
have you guys heard of a program called Keysticks?
I think so.
It's basically, if you, just in case you haven't, but it's basically a program where, because for certain games you can't use a controller, or say for Simu, for example, I can't use an Xbox controller because it won't let me. So Keysticks basically maps like certain buttons to the Xbox controller, any controller you're using.
I think I used something like that for the Switch Joy-Cons. These people look weird. Probably going to end this stream soon. I don't feel any motivation to really keep playing this. Yeah, I'm going to end the stream. Let's see.